Good morning and welcome to All the Way. Thank you guys for tuning in for series number 5 titled Transformation. Thank you guys for also watching series 1 through 4. Thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate it. So 6 and 7 will be uploaded by tomorrow. Friday, I believe I will be uploading number 7 along with my cousin. I was waiting for her, but she had a game. So we'll do it tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But we're just going to jump into series number 5 titled Transformation. And so with Transformation, I asked God to receive more of him, and I wanted him to dwell more in me. And so with that being said, he told me that he had to remove some things, such as pride. Not that I'm a prideful person, but when it comes to me asking for help, say I don't have enough for just my groceries or whatever, I'll just put it back instead of asking my mom, can I borrow a few dollars or something? Because I've been raised to be independent, and being independent is just something I've always wanted to be by nature. I really I really admired my mom being independent and making it happen, honestly, as a single parent. So growing up, I took on some of her characteristics, and later on I discovered that's just who I am. I'm very independent. I like to do things by myself. I like to achieve my own personal goals. I barely like any help. So I think that's where the pride came in, is that this is a time where I was transitioning between jobs. I was leaving a job that I was very familiar with. I love this job. And God was telling me it was time to go. And it hurt me because the first time I left, I went back to go to school because he was like, it's time for you to go back to school. You saved up enough money. But this time I went back just to help, and, just to help during that time. And I wasn't ready to leave because I had got comfortable again with another set of people who are part of my crew. And I just didn't want to leave. I didn't feel like it was necessary. But as time went on, things were revealed as to why, not just because it was time to go, but as to why I should have left a long time ago that I wasn't paying attention to when I first worked there years prior to. So, yeah. So God was like, okay, since you're not listening, because at times I wasn't, I was like, Lord, I'm not ready to go. I just started, but he was like, okay, since you don't think that it's urgent for you to leave, he started revealing a lot of things that I wasn't paying attention to, because when I first started this job, I was way younger. I was fresh 20s, probably just turned 20 or just turned 19, about to be, no, not even, no, yeah, I think I was just about to turn 20. I was 19, just about to turn 20. And so some things wasn't brought to the eye because I don't think I was looking for it to be. I wasn't looking for these things to be happening at this specific place and in general. But as I got older, because I came back I left when I was probably almost 22, I think. And then some years passed, and now I'm 26. So yeah, I was there from the time I came back when I was 25, and then I left after I turned 26, yeah, because I'll be 27 this year. But yeah, so like I said, from the age difference between 20 and 25, just as an adult evolving, I was able to catch on to a lot of things that I wasn't able to catch on at 20 years old. So when I was leaving, I was like, okay, now I know the deeper meaning and the deeper reason as to why I had to leave and why it was so urgent. So with that being said, God was like, it's time to put your 2 weeks in. I was just like, okay. I said, but Lord, I still have to pay rent. I still have to, eat. I still have to have transportation. He was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Trust me. Literally. That was it. It was put your 2 weeks in without even having looked at any other job. It was just put your 2 weeks in. and I got a job for you. So I started talking to my mom. I said, Lord, I said, Mom, God want me to quit my job. And she was like, okay. And then I was like, well, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? She was like, do you trust him? I said, yes, I do. I said, but I think I want to change my direction because I was in the food industry. I left leaving food. And I said, I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I want to go into an area where it will prepare me for my field because I'm going to school to be a midwife. I have, I think, one more year. All I have is my sciences left. So I was like, I think I want to do something that would include preparation for the field that I want to go into for the rest of my life. So she was like, okay, your brother's school has an opening for an after school program. So I was like, all right. I went on the website that night, literally applied, thought I was doing the application correctly. Turns out I was sending an email to the principal. So she emailed me back, I think a day after, and she was just like, how did you find out about this position? And do you want to come in and fill out an application? And I was like, I apologize. The way their website was set up was you go to the career section and then you put in a request, which I thought was an application because it asked me for all the credentials of an application, the name, the address, your experience, and all that. Well, no, that was just like a preview just to see if you'll be qualified to come in to fill out the actual application. So through an email, that's how it was, like a version of an email. So when I went in, I said, yes, I would love to come in. As soon as I came in, she was like, so who do you know here? Who goes to school that you know here? And I told her about my brothers. Because sometimes when you go and work with family, like, they don't want to do that so that you don't have favoritism. But I never have had a problem in the past. I've worked with my family in the past, and we had to be very discreet about this. And this time I had to be very open because my brothers do go there. It's not like they're not going to be like, hey, Leah. I just know her because her name is Leah. No, my little brother, he's going to be like, hey, sister, so I couldn't be discreet about this. I had to be very open, which was fine because I'm a very open person. So I was like, yeah, my brothers go here, and I didn't want to include that into my application because I didn't want to, looking for the word, I didn't want to be denied because I knew someone who went there. So she was like, it's totally fine. And then she asked me about if I was still working, and I was like, yeah, I was still working, and the guy had told me to put in my 2 weeks and to apply here. And she was like, okay, because we need someone to start in immediately. And I told her, I said, I won't be able to start immediately because I was still finishing school, and I had just placed the 2 weeks. So she said, when is the last day of my 2 weeks? And I told her. And so after that, she was like, okay, as soon as you're done with your 2 weeks. My 2 weeks ended on October 18th. I literally started October 22nd at the new job. So I was like, okay, guys, I see you. Like, all right, because he had me for a scare there because I was just like, rent was due. It's the 22nd. Yeah, rent was due at the end of the month. No, I had just paid it, so it was due for the next month. And he made sure that I was taken care of. So that's where that pride came in at because... no, that's not an example of pride, is it? Kinda, yeah. It is. I think pride was included in the part where I didn't want to leave so soon because I didn't know how he was going to work it out. So I guess that plays a role. And then I gave you guys an example. Okay, yeah. So I had to let go of pride. Another area, I'm checking my notes, y'all. If y'all see me looking that way, I'm checking the notes. Okay, another thing I had to let go was being concerned about just me and my family. I mentioned before in another series that God had me fasting and praying for not only myself but others, but then God wanted me to step it up. And he was like, okay, yes, you're fasting, you're praying, you're doing great, but I need you to start caring for my people now. And so not only did he place me at a new job where I'll be caring for little ones and be responsible for them, he gave me a responsibility at the church where I will be caring for the mother who was giving me a ride to church. And so literally, a lot of people think of caring as, oh, you must have to change diapers or you must have had to feed a person. No, it wasn't really physical. In this sense, it was catering in a way where, should I say, serving in a way where I would have served my loved one. And so, like I said, I believe in the video before this, I was given a second chance to embrace the mother as my grandmother and pick off from where I left off. So when I started to care for her and service her, I am doing it in a way where I would have done it if my grandma was here. So an example of that is when she gets out the car, I open the door for her, I grab everything that's in her hand so that nothing's in her way from falling or preventing, no obstacles is there. And so and that's exactly what I would do with my grandma. I wouldn't want her to hold nothing because that's my grandma. And I'm young enough and I'm well enough to hold everything so that she can make it up the stairs or get across the street safely or whatever the case is. That's just my way of making sure she's safe, is making sure that she doesn't have anything holding her down other than her weight, her body weight, and she can carry, herself lightly to wherever we have to go. Another example would be just being patient. I have a lot of patience. Over time, my patience, how can I say this? The patience that I gave a lot of people was taken advantage of. I will literally wait for some people. I'm talking about in the past, before last year of the 1 year absence, but I'm just saying, like, adding up to right now. I will wait for people for hours because they'll say, like, they're going to meet me. I'll wait. And so over time, like I said, it was taken advantage of because they'll never show, or they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. So over time, I was just like, I'm not being patient for nobody no more. Like, if you're not here by 5 minutes, I'm gone. Because I feel like my time wasn't being appreciated. And so God wants to remind me that, okay, Aaliyah, you have patience. You're just giving it to the wrong people. But the people who I'm placing in your life in this chapter requires and needs that level of patience that you gave to the wrong people. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, you're going to have to build me up. You're going to have to get me going, because I had been used to giving my patience, and just not my patience, but my trust and my love to the wrong people, that I didn't know how to give it to the right people, because I had gave it all up to the wrong people. And I was like, well, you're going to have to build me up. You have to build me up, because I know that you're doing something new. I know that you're placing new people in my life. I said, and they deserve that version of myself that I gave to the wrong people. They deserve that. And so I said, okay, Lord, you're going to have to work on me. So he started off with Mother Samilla, and I will wait for her to get out the bathroom, and then we'll walk out together. It's other examples, but I'm trying to, wrap my hand around them another time. Not just getting out the bathroom, but, walking up the stairs. I knew he was building my patience. I mean, I've always been patient with elders, because they're your elders. Whether you think that they should be given the patience or respect or not, they're still elders. And if they're still amongst the living, you still have to respect them. And so I always have patience for that. But a time where I would really have to be patient is if it's raining or something like that. And, it's taking a little bit longer to get up the stairs. But God was like, okay, do you see where your patience is coming back in? I just didn't make this a rainy day for a reason. I made it so that you can know that I'm answering your prayers of being patient. And I said, okay, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to see the areas that you were giving back to me that I was asking you. It wasn't even about me having patience for her, because I'm going to have it regardless. It was about waiting. It was about hearing God's response from my prayer of him pouring back into me what I had gave to the wrong people. And God had to show me, hey, I haven't forgot about you. I haven't dismissed your prayer. I haven't dismissed your request. I'm responding. And so that's when I knew there was a transformation happening, because God was responding immediately, instantly. Because I would pray that week, I'd be like, okay, Lord, I still have issues with trust. And then that same week, he'll do something where I was able to trust someone again. And he was like, okay, did you pay attention? How you was able to trust that person? And I was like, okay, Lord, I apologize for not acknowledging the fact that you actually answered. And he said, okay, you have to slow down again. Because I used to do things at a fair pace where I was able to pick up on every detail. And as life went on, like I said, you work at jobs with a fast pace. You got to go to school. You got to go to work. That's a fast pace. So God had to slow me down. He was like, okay, Aaliyah, you got a new job. You're done with your semester at school. I'm going to teach you how to have a fair pace so that you don't miss any detail of not only what he was doing in my life, but what others was doing in my life. Because, like I said, we can miss a lot of things. We can miss the response that God has because we don't know how to step outside of ourselves, for one, and then the balance of having to go out into the world and then come back into home. It's like, it's a different vibe. It's a different energy there. So he had to slow me down, and he was like, okay, even when you leave the house, don't just be like relaxed and calm at home. Take that with you outside of home so that you will be able to really use it outside, because I'm outside more than I'm inside. So he was like, okay, you got to slow it down so you can see. I'm just trying to make sure I'm explaining this right. But the next area that he had to transform was the way I get ready for a next chapter in my life, because I have a sense of when there's a shift in my life. And a shift, I mean a new chapter is about to happen. Like, I could tell when one chapter is about to end, because things start getting uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, I want more. Like, I just start building up this momentum of, okay, there's something more about to happen. I can just feel it. I call it a shift. And so, like I said, after I ended my job in the food industry, I knew that God was going to use me even more with the little kids. So, like I said, I felt the shift, and I knew that God was preparing me for a new chapter. I just didn't know what it was, because, like I said, school was out. I was getting ready to start this new job at the after-school program, but I was like, okay, what is next? What more are you requiring of me? And he said that he sent a word, actually, through my pastor, a prophecy that it was time for me to get married. And mind y'all, okay, this is the same year, this is last year, maybe November, almost December, he sent that. And mind you, I just left the relationship June of the year. And so I was like, literally like that. In my mind, that was my facial expression in my mind. Like, how are we gonna do that when I'm still getting overdue, And God was just like, this is the time where you have to write down every little detail. And so I said, okay, Lord, but I thought I did. I thought I was forgiven for, fast and all that, like I mentioned in the other series. He was like, no, there's some details hidden in your heart that you have to work on. So he told me, get a piece of paper. He said, write down everything, how everything made you feel, how him not calling you back made you feel, how him not fulfilling promises that he made out his mouth, how did that make you feel? And so I was like, that still affected me, Lord? I'm still trying to, walk into the next chapter. And he's like, no, you can't walk into no new chapter unless you deal with the old one. So I was like, oh, snap. Oh, here we go again. So like I said, he had me write it down. He had me write it down. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that all this is still there. And then he was like, okay, the next person before you dated him, which was 2 years ago. I had to write down every little thing that I thought I had let go of and forgot about. He was like, no, it's still there. And he walked into this relationship. That's why you can see the signs early and detect them, because you hadn't dealt with it with the guy you dated 2 years ago. I said, well, dang, Lord, it's a whole lot of history happening up in here, building up on this paper. So I'm going to need another sheet. So after I did that, like I said, it's only Thanksgiving, December, that went by like whoosh, like a wave in the water. During that time, every week I was working on something deeper and deeper and deeper. Until I finally just said, Lord, okay, I'm 25 at the time. No, 26. Yep, 26 at the time. I said, Lord, I've been dating since first grade. It's a lot of history here. I said, I'm not trying to rush the process. No, for real. I said, I'm not trying to rush the process, but I need you to remove every little thing, because even if I'm writing it down, you are dwelling in me. You know what's really there that I still haven't pulled up. So I need you to really go in that area, because although I got baptized, okay, if you think about it, the water only covers the surface. I want God to go do a deep cleanse, like a colon cleanse. Okay, I said it's a lot of people. I wrote down what I've wrote down, but there's some different areas that I'm just not letting go, or I'm not identifying. So I said, Lord, I need you to go and do a deep cleanse on this heart, or wherever it's at that it's still holding on and attached to the pain, the hurt, whatever it is. I need you to go ahead and flesh that on out. And then after I asked that, instantly, he was like, okay. He was like, delete this person's number. Unfollow this person. I said, but I thought we was cool. He said, no. Delete, unfollow. He had me, I only have like 12 contacts, y'all. Mind you, I had a whole notebook, okay? I have connections and stuff like that. He said, delete it all. So I deleted it. I followed people. I said, but I didn't think I had it. He said, yes, you did. You had a problem with that person, but you still following them. I said, all right, I'll follow. And he's still doing that with me daily. He's like, okay, you have to still let go, but I'm not dragging the letting go anymore. I've learned to release quickly like a fish. Unhook that fish, throw that fish back in the water, and put your hook back out and grab something else to be worked on. So this whole motion of letting go and transformation is happening instantly, and I'm still doing it, not day by day, but when I'm like, okay, Lord, is there something else you need to take away? Because my pastor again prophesied again about marriage, because in my mind I'm like, I ain't ready for all that. I'm still going through my transformation, but he's like, yep, get ready. And I'm like, oh, okay. So God is still working on me, and he's still getting me ready. I always knew that I would be a wife. Yeah, I did. But like I said, when you go through a lot of things, I was giving wife material to a lot of, what's the proper word? A lot of people whom my rib did not fit and connect to, if y'all catching that. Adam and Eve, God took the rib. Okay. So my rib was never fitting in the scenario, because it was never meant to fit. And I'm over here trying to force it fit into